In this video, I'd like to go over what is expected from task 1 of your team project. The first thing you have to remember is that this project is to develop a distance education program. So what is important to note is that since this is a distance education program, you have to have it delivered to an international context, and it should be targeted at adult learners. So the international context will give it the distance that we're talking about. Since this is delivered at a distance, the expectation is that you as facilitators will not be physically present over there. So you have to design your course in such a taking into account that you're not going to be present there. So the first thing that you're going to do is you'll figure out the basic things of this program. Like, first, what is the problem that this program is going to address? What are you trying to solve, so to speak? Now, there are a number of sample projects on D2L that you can take a look at, and they'll give you some ideas. For example, you could have an orientation program for, let's say, international master's level students who are coming to the US. You can focus that down and say, master's students from China who are coming to the US, we're going to create an orientation program for them. Now, master's level students will fall under the category of adults, and it's in an international context because this is going to be delivered in China. So there are a number of ideas out there, and it could be very specific to the kind of work that you are doing now. If you're in the retail industry, what kind of training will you give your employees in another country? um, for example, how does McDonald's do its training? I mean, they have branches everywhere and they give training as well, so how do they do it? Think along those lines, be creative, and so you're going to come up with a situation, a problem that you want to solve. Okay, once you've got that, you're then going to identify your audience. So who are the people you're going to cater to? Who is the audience for this program? When you're identifying and you're defining your audience, provide as many details as possible. These details will make it easy for you to develop an appropriate program. The more details you have, the easier it is for you. So for example, details to think about. What is the age of your audience, target audience, or the age group of your target audience? It could be someone from the age of 24 to the age of 75, could be anything. But do you want to define it more closely? Like, for example, if I'm just going to go with the same international master's level students coming from China kind of thing. So for those students, what kind of an age group am I looking at? I'm probably looking at maybe someone over 24, could be something. If it was the McDonald's situation, it's probably someone who's going to be more a teenager and in the early 20s. And so I'm defining it as, given my problem, I'm defining who my audience is going to be. The gender might not be an issue. It could be anyone can participate kind of program, or it could be specifically for a program designed for women, or it could be a women or a program designed for men. So depends on the situation. Language proficiency. Now this is an important one. Since you're delivering this at a distance and your program is going to be in English, what is the English language proficiency of your audience? That's something to take into account when you're developing a program like this. What about technological competency? How good are they going to be at using computers? Now, if you're looking at international master's level students, one would assume that their technological competency is going to be quite high. At least they'll be familiar with most of the things. But remember, technological competency will also take into account something like the platform that you're using. For example, D2L. Do they know how to use D2L? Do they know how to use Google? Things to think about. What is their motivational level? For example, if it is a training course from um, a training course for McDonald's, it's a mandatory course, so everyone has to go for it. how do you think their motivational level is going to be when compared to these international master's level students who have applied and who really want to come to the US? So, does that motivational level play a role in how you design your program? Think about it. Next, goals and objectives. Now, a program is only effective if it has clearly defined goals and objectives, and you need to identify these for your program. Now, goals and objectives are different, and on the D2L site, I've provided links to resources that explain this difference. So please consult this because many times there is this confusion between goals and objectives, and it translates into the program as well. Get this clarified in your mind and come up with clear goals and objectives. Finally, for task 1, it is due on October 1st. You'll submit it to the discussion board, and this task is not individually graded, but I will provide feedback on it.